Polling data for today's teenagers and young adults reveals a massive statistical anomaly. While previous generations reliably leaned left and prioritized progressive identity markers, the current youth cohort is shifting right at a record pace. They are choosing entrepreneurship and traditional financial stability over labels like activist or environmentalist. This shift extends to the most personal parts of their lives. Surveys show a large majority of young women now prefer the man to pay the bill on a first think, and an increasing number of brides are choosing to be given away by their fathers. Curious. This craving for tradition clashes with their psychological reality. As sociologists like Jonathan Haidt point out, this is the most anxious generation on record. Raised with overprotective parenting, as depicted here on the Swedish cover of The Coddling of the American Mind, they've been insulated from risk. This constant sheltering has stunted their emotional resilience and their ability to resolve conflicts. They are reaching for these rigid, traditional structures because their upbringing provided so little. These old rituals offer the only available anchors in a largely structureless and coddled life. The adults are equally unmoored. We have lost our collective ability to sit with the two experiences that define the human condition: love and death. We have medicalized grief, treating deep existential pain as an inefficiency to be managed. Sufferers are often handed a checklist of steps and told that if they aren't back on their feet in a few months, their sorrow has become an anomaly. This pressure to move on quickly forces the most profound human pains into the shadows. When society refuses to acknowledge the depth of this pain, people are forced to process it in isolation. This loneliness drives them toward the unmonitored corners of the internet. In these digital shadows, they find black markets for euthanasia and chat groups that validate their despair without any ethical guardrails, sometimes leading to horrific consequences far from the light of public care. We have built a society obsessed with surface-level safety and quick fixes, and in the process, we have become terrified of the messy reality of being human. To understand how we became this fragile, we have to look at the shift in how we consume information. Engaging with primary sources is a slow, difficult act. We have largely abandoned it for the infinite scroll of short-form video and simplified AI summaries. We are choosing speed and convenience over the density of original thought. The late scholar Peter Lutherson argued that classic literature serves as a vital conversation across time. He saw these books as a way to engage directly with people who have already grappled with the same existential questions we face today. These writers operated with entirely different assumptions about the world. Their texts preserve the accumulated wisdom of thousands of years, offering a perspective that is impossible to find in a contemporary social media feed. When we stop reading these works, we are cutting ourselves off from the history of human resilience. We become isolated in a present moment that has no depth. This loss of historical depth directly shapes our politics. We are attempting to use the law to define what a civilized society looks like, often by simply erasing what makes us uncomfortable. This creates a strange paradox. A nation might liberalize its laws on abortion or marriage while simultaneously increasing the repression of messy behaviors like drug use or the sex trade. Other democracies take a different path. They use the law to integrate vulnerable groups into a social framework, providing protection rather than using criminalization to exclude them from the societal body. Our drive toward exclusion is fueled by a fear of moral complexity. We want our society to look pristine, and we lack the patience for the difficult work of social integration. Because we have discarded the philosophical tools found in our cultural history, we no longer know how to process life's messy realities. We react by trying to legislate a frictionless, artificial version of existence. To fill this cultural void, a growing movement is calling for a formal national literary canon, a curated set of essential works taught in every school. Critics often view a state-sanctioned list as inherently authoritarian. They worry that a canon imposes a single, elitist worldview on a diverse student body. Firm rejection of a canon is actually a betrayal of the unprivileged. It assumes that children don't need a map to navigate the vast world of human thought. children from privileged homes will always be guided toward the complex, enduring works of Shakespeare or Dante. If schools refuse to enforce a standard, students from less fortunate backgrounds are left only with trendy, forgettable pop literature that lacks the depth to sustain them. A literary canon provides a vital guide for discovery. It ensures that every student, regardless of their background, has access to the most profound ideas in human history, ideas they would likely never find on their own. In an age of AI summaries and digital superficiality, we don't need more overprotection. We need to re-engage with the difficult, beautiful